my goodness. We are being live streamed. Let's record this so that we can share it. How are you this
Good
morning?
morning. Happy Monday. I gotta get my signature hat on.
Yeah, yeah, we can't forget that.
Uh,
We haven't been together on Monday in a couple of weeks, I don't think.
I know because I was on a couple of vacays.
Yeah, how nice was that?
It was really nice. Last Monday we were in Dallas visiting with Jeremy's childhood best friend and his family.
Hmm.
And they have an amazing pool and backyard. And usually we just hang out at the house. But the kids had their kids are 7 and 11, and they had sports. So we got to play auntie and uncle, going and watch them
Nice.
play sports. So it was pretty cool,
Oh, yay.
because we don't have kids. So every once in a while, that's nice.
I'll loan you some.
Yeah, yours are too big.
They're more fun now. Well,
Uh,
mostly. Mostly. It's
uh,
funny that you mentioned that because we had an interesting weekend. My youngest turned 30 on Saturday, which is just blows my mind. And Zach is really into, he loves to bake. He's into this confectionery stuff. He loves to make candy. So
like his
his,
mother,
huh?
just like his mother.
Well, yeah, they all like to cook. They like to cook, and I'm sure they get that from me. But and my lineage, because we all were cooks. I don't know, but we had an interesting conversation about, or I had an interesting observation, and then we had a small conversation about it. That my kids are so entrepreneurial, and I guess maybe I shouldn't be surprised by that because I
Mhm.
am and have been, and they've experienced that through their entire lives. But it's just so funny how to see that in your kids at any age. There's entrepreneurial programs for kids in elementary school. And to be fair, my first experience, and I didn't even think about that until this weekend. My first experience was joining oh gosh, now the name escapes me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember the name now. It was that, and somebody is going to put this in chat. This is where you in elementary or junior high school, you form little
Oh,
businesses.
oh,
Yeah, what is the
in
name of
high
it? What
school.
is it? I'm having so many troubles with this remembering stuff from 50 years ago. Oh my gosh. And all of there were several of us in junior high that attended it, and we made stained glass ornaments, and some of it,
Oh,
gee, what is the name of that thing? Anyway, whoever, if you're out there watching, you can I forgot all about this. You can please put the name in the chat so that it will refresh my memory. I know I will remember it as soon as we hang up this
of
Zoom.
course.
But we they taught you how to think like an entrepreneur. But back then, I mean, that would have been 1971, 1972. I don't know if we even used that word
Entrepreneur.
regularly, and there
Mm,
was certainly no support for
yeah.
entrepreneurs. But they taught us to we divided up in teams. So we had a team that, after we all collectively decided what we were going to produce to sell, then we had some people that created the advertising for that, and some people that created the actual product. We had another team that sourced the supplies, and it was just such a cool thing. But I don't think it's even still, whatever the hell it's called. I don't think it's even still around. And I certainly didn't send my kids to it because I don't even know through their entire being raised if it was around. But yet he, just like Alex, Zach, just like Alex, can see an opportunity in so many different things, and very specifically, and we just talked about this in class on Saturday, our last class for the cohort, that when you find something that you're passionate about, like a hobby or a cause, and you develop a business around that, every challenge is so much easier to bear, isn't it?
It's not easy, but it's easier.
It's, yeah, it's definitely not easy, but it is easier because you're focused. You know that you love what this thing is, a
Mhm.
cause or a product or a service or whatever, or you love being able to solve that particular problem for people, and you just, it just makes it easy. We spent um, didn't spend as much time on Saturday doing. In fact, we didn't make one piece of candy on Saturday. We were there. Candy making was the name of the day, and aside from his birthday, and we didn't make one piece of candy. But we talked about it a lot, and we conceptualized how this was because he wanted to try something new. So he came back on Sunday, and we just spent like 4 hours in the kitchen making candy, and still experimenting and conceptualizing. And he ended up with 200 pieces of candy that he one new one and one regular one that he's already made, and then a lot of experiments that didn't work out very well for the brand new one.
Funny, funny. Like, are they chocolate? What kind of, or
Yeah,
no? Oh, it's all chocolate?
it's chocolate candy. He does a cookies and cream Oreo or cookies and cream truffle that is just to die for. It's so good. He's been making them for years. And then he decided he really loved making the candy. And so he started experimenting. So now he has mint cookie and cream truffles.
Mm.
And this weekend he made peanut butter truffles. And
Now
we
you're
tried,
talking my
yeah.
language.
And then he also made the one that is still in development is cookies and caramel truffle.
Mm.
And that was the most frustrating thing. And my little kitchen is really small. It's like 10 by 10 from the walls, not from the inside space. And the two of us are in there with trays of cookie mold or candy molds and chocolate melting on the stove, and did you try this way and try that way and try this way, and it was just like an entrepreneur's experimental kitchen. It was so much fun, and we talked about how he's just, well, do you think everything that he makes, he says, well, how do you think I could sell this? So he's gotten to the point, I shouldn't say he's gotten to the point now that not only does he make these, but he wraps them in foil papers so that when he gives them away, or if he does sell a few to some of the people he works with, they look real pretty too. So
Wow.
it's just interesting how it just goes back to when you're doing something you love and you try to build a business around it, as long as you keep focused on how much you love it, then all of the crap that falls down on your head while you're trying to develop your business will just kind of be like, okay, I can get rid of that. I'm done with that. Of course, after about 40 years, this becomes just a nervous twitch every time you think of a new idea.
Oh, funny. Yes, your kids definitely have your entrepreneurial bug, your
Yeah.
entrepreneurial mindset.
And it's funny because my mother was very entrepreneurial, but my father is not. And
Hmm.
neither is my brother. Work for somebody forever, or and I shouldn't say that. My dad formed a trucking company with some friends, but I think that still was more a corporate alliance than an entrepreneurial endeavor. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's really funny. It's really funny.
Huh.
Okay,
I'm
so that was
like,
my rant for Monday morning. I'm sorry I got off on that.
this is really interesting. So I have my GPS watch plugged in on my desk because I have all these little, like contraption or like little USB and plug-ins on my desk. And yesterday it was at 100 and it just beeped at me. It's 4% and it's still plugged in. That's just really weird. Uh, it's really weird. But anyway, what's going on? Oh, so we finished our last cohort. Um, Another cohort, just so amazing. It's yeah, just hearing about their growth, and mostly their growth in mindset. It's so fascinating.
It is. It is. We had our pitch competition or pitch deliveries for the two cohorts that we just completed. So
Mhm.
the purpose of that was to pitch their business model, not to pitch like to investors or to inform people about their business, specifically pitching their business model so that they could find the holes in that model and have other people give feedback on it. And what was so interesting to me and so fulfilling was remembering where they were when they got there. So this stuff they didn't even know some of the terminology, let alone the concept, and how well they have applied it to their business concept. But what's even more fascinating is several of them in the two cohorts have already completely switched or have pivoted their idea in a way that would make it more profitable, or in the case of a new idea altogether. Deborah Hooks is in our was in one of the cohorts, and she has completely done an about face where the business she thought she was going to start, that she's so passionate about helping people with, she decided that she didn't want to make a business out of that. She enjoys the giving aspect of what she does, the assistance that she provides with no strings. So now she's left in a quandary with, so what of my hobbies do I really want to make a business out of? And of course she said something related to food. So I was all over it. Like, okay, let's
Yeah, she's pretty phenomenal woman. I will be excited to continue to watch her evolve as an entrepreneur.
Yep, all of them.
Yeah, and her husband, I mean, he's trying to finish out his retirement process.
Yep.
But I'm curious if they're going to do a business together or two separate businesses.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. There was another one in the class too that had started with one concept with one demographic, and because of life changes that happened, she was exposed to the same concept with a different demographic and just fell in love. And so she's also making a right turn and building it on a different aspect of the same concept at least. But
Awesome.
it's just so fun to watch them, to see the light bulb go off when they get it, when they're like, they come in and you do their highs and lows, and they just are like vibrating in the seat waiting for their chance to talk because they want to share that they just had this epiphany and it's going to make such a difference, and that's always great.
And so last week I went to the FABOB, Florida Association of Veteran-Owned Businesses. They had an event. Paul Huzar gave a presentation on franchising 101 because they franchise Vetcor. And Brian Andrews and Rebecca Andrews were there.
Oh,
And
awesome.
for those of you that don't know the Andrews family, they were in the very first or second entrepreneurship cohort that I was program manager for. Second,
They
okay.
were in my You weren't program manager then. They were in my first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and they've had, Brian had these ideas over the years, and he said something to the audience that just struck me so much. Which just warmed my heart. He said, Valerie's been an inspiration. And all of a sudden I was like, oh God, he's going to make me cry.
I know that feeling.
But we were talking the last time I saw him, and he had another idea, another invention. And I told him, I said, your challenge is you're an inventor, you're not an entrepreneur. And you need to find somebody to be the entrepreneur in your business.
Absolutely.
So he was like, that kind of woke me up, and I just needed to stop either making these things and putting them on the shelf, or making these things and giving to, letting somebody else make money off of them. So the entire family, him, Rebecca's wife, and both of his boys were there. And they're all getting involved in the family business
Yep.
with their new inventions. So
Yep.
I'm really super excited about it.
I'm excited for them. He went to a workshop we held much earlier this year, or maybe even it was the latter part of last year actually, and with one of his sons attended, and that was the first time I'd heard about his invention, and it's just revolutionary. It's so funny when people invent new things. You're like, how did we not think about this
I
before?
know, I know.
How did nobody think about this? But
Well,
he did, and he's got the intelligence and the mechanical ability to create it
yeah,
and make it big.
yeah. And Rebecca is going to be acting as essentially the company COO, running the business, which is what he needed.
Yep.
He needed that compliment. So really excited. But
And
as
they
a
won the
result,
pitch competition at the Veterans Florida Battle of the Pitches.
yeah.
Came
So
in first place.
that was last weekend.
Yep.
Oh gosh,
Or
it already
weekend
seems,
before this immediate past one.
yeah. It's already seemed so long ago, but so if I understand, it's a underwater light that doesn't need to be drilled into the ground
Into the boat.
or into the boat. Oh, okay.
And that's why I'm like, why didn't anybody think about this? Why have we been drilling holes in boats under the water line? That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. But Brian found a way.
Yeah.
And it's his mechanical ability and knowledge that allows him to create something that will work. And I think he's going to be massively successful.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so funny because he was in the program back in 2016, the beginning of 2017. And I don't remember what business he was working on then. There were three or four of them from SoftWorks that participated in the program.
Yeah,
And I do not remember what his concept was back then. He probably does because
I
all of
do.
us
I
remember.
remember.
Do you? What was it?
It was it was a cube that you could control the UAV with your fingertips instead of using the joystick. And the reason why I remember is because that was what, I led soldiers who did that, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, and so it just allowed for more stable control of a very expensive piece of military equipment, and it's just fingertips.
But he also applied that his kids, I remember now, his kids were in the robotics programs at school, and they found that using this cube would allow them better access and control to the robots when they were in competitions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that now. I remember the prototype. Yeah, it's just so fun.
We need to have him on the show, him and Rebecca, and they can talk about their journey.
Absolutely.
Because it's
Absolutely.
been, and they've been trying to figure out how they could, or what they could do as a family to have a family business. And it's very serendipitous because his kids are now at an age where they truly can be involved.
Yes,
And
and
if they're
contribute.
older,
Mhm.
I mean, because if you think about that, 7 years ago. Holy
Yep.
cow, Rosie, we've been doing this for a long time.
Well, it's actually about 6 years ago because it's
Oh man.
2022. You've been doing it for seven, I
Uh,
guess. You started in 2015, right?
15, yeah, the
Yeah.
fall of 2015. But yeah, so we've got one that is already graduated from high school, one is getting ready to graduate from high school. Rebecca's been by his side the whole time as they've been, along this journey. So yeah, just so exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is. And in relation to how much time it's been, for all of you that are just starting a business and you're thinking that it's just going to be an internal push pull push pull push pull the whole time, it is. But I'll tell you, the last 6 years have just flown by, and the last four at Action Zone have also. And to be where we are today and look back and go, okay, so we made it through that. What we know that there's still going to be more ahead of us, like all businesses, but you can get through it. And then
Yeah,
you'll laugh at the way things happened over your journey. And those will be
yeah.
those geeky entrepreneurial stories that we tell when we hang out with our buds.
Yeah, that's funny. So what's next for Action Zone? What do we have coming up? We have a couple of
Well,
workshops.
yes, we have at the see, I wish you would warn me ahead of time, but I am prepared this time. July 12th at the ECC, the Boss Company does our website and helped us get our social media on track with our marketing committee. She is holding social media workshops at the ECC, and Action Zone is sponsoring those for her. The first one is July 12th. It's going to be the second Tuesday of every month. I think you should plan to attend them all because I don't know what her schedule is on them, but it's not like you're going to go once and you're going to hear the same thing the next time. First of all, social media marketing evolves. There's
Mm,
always something new, some new regulation with the platforms or some new hot method of promoting yourself on social media. So, and Diane is just the best. So she's going to be doing that the second Tuesday of every month. The first one's on July 12th.
what time?
Uh, oh, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Okay, well, we'll just put it in the chat for everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's going to be like 5 or 6, but I can't tell you because I don't remember.
Okay.
And I didn't put that on my notes. We have in the coming months, as yet to be confirmed on the locations, but in August we're going to be doing business registration and legal structures again. That was such a great class. Dr. Russ Barnes has this great presentation on business structures, and then I walk you through business registration on the Sunbiz site, and IRS. Um, we are hoping to have a franchise class in September because while not very many of the veterans really are interested in franchising. Many of them are interested in being the franchisor instead of the franchisee. So we'll give them some information on that. And our own Kashima Garcia will be delivering a business acquisition workshop, and we're hoping that will happen in October. So there's still a lot up in the air because we just finished the 2 cohorts, and now we're able to skate for a little while. Our next cohort will be like the end of August, the beginning of September. You can always, I'll put the link in the chat. You can always register now, and we'll touch base and let you know when that happens. But you want to definitely, I don't know what's on my face. You definitely will want to be on the registration list, because if when we reach capacity, we have to push you off to the next cohort, and we don't want to be able to do. We don't want to
Yeah, I
do
don't
that.
want to do that.
This is driving me nuts.
It's probably dog hair. So
Yeah, probably.
one other workshop on the 13th of July
Hmm.
at 4 o'clock. Jeremy's going to go over the Performa.
And if let me tell you, I don't know if has that Eventbrite got published yet. Have we gotten the details confirmed yet?
It's on the ECC's calendar for sure.
Okay.
Um,
That is going to be packed. And if you don't think you need it, you should go and listen to it anyway. Jeremy does such an exceptional job of breaking down how to look at your financials and how to create them so that you can plan. Don't miss that one.
Yeah, and he'll also when he does the Performer, he also touches, or when he facilitates that topic, he touches on pricing, which is so huge.
It is.
And I don't know if Dana Hughes is watching, but Dana is an alumni of Action Zone, and she called Russ first, and Russ is like, you need to call Jeremy. And Jeremy helped her with a very big contract to make sure that she was pricing herself right. He's
Yeah.
just the master at that. Yeah, so don't miss that class.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. We'll put
Don't miss any of them.
That's true. That's very true. And I think that's all we have slated on the books for right now.
Mhm.
It's very interesting when we get to the end of a program year, which is like the end of June, where the cohorts are done. We're planning for the next cohorts. To be honest, it's kind of a break for us because we've been going for months. And so now we have time to really think about, first of all, what our people are telling us. And Russ is so good about saying this, and I don't, it's not like I forget to say it, but Russ always beats me to the punch, that we take all of the feedback from all of our cohort members and all of our workshop participants very seriously.
Yeah.
The people that were in our program in 2018 would not even recognize the program today. And that's because over the 4 years, we've listened to what the participants have indicated would be most helpful, what wasn't helpful, what they want to see. And we've incorporated those things because
We listen to our customers.
we listen to we listen to the customers. And we're fortunate to be a small enough organization that we can make those kind of pivotal changes on the fly.
Yeah.
As an example, we started a cohort in February that was a 16-week program. It included 2 components, and one was 12 and one was 6. I'm sorry, one was 8 and one was 6. And or 4. I don't know, whatever. I can't add on Monday.
12 and 4 weeks.
But the challenge was that's so long. I mean, if they want to go to a college class for a semester, that's one thing, but they want to learn how to start a business, and most of them are wanting to learn it quickly. I understand that. But we changed it. We were able to create the same curriculum with greater impact, actually, in the way that we designed it, because we're small enough to be able to do that. So, and that was a direct result of what people said they needed.
And because we have the expertise, we are entrepreneurs, right?
Yep.
Peter Golden, he was in this last cohort. He was also at the FAVOB.
Oh, cool. I wish I'd been there.
Yeah, and so he's taken on a role as membership with FAVOB, which is great. And Maxine Reyes is the vice chair. And as we know, Pete Bloom is the chair for the Tampa chapter. But anyways, Peter gave an amazing testimonial. He said that Action Zone was like a crash course. It was like a crash or MBA crash course on how to start a business.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, so we would not be able to be one that agile as you were, to your point, if we weren't small enough. And two, being entrepreneurs, we recognize what really needs to, we listen to the customers and know what we can shave off, if you will.
And we have so many and this I didn't intend for this Monday's Zoom to be pat action zone on the back, and that's not the point of this at all. It's how
Well,
do you it's really I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
It's really about learning the people on your team what their strengths and expertise is, and utilizing that to your advantage in your business. um, Russ on strategy and organizational design, could you none better. Business modeling, I have become an expert at business modeling, and not that I can't learn anything, but my superpower is being able to distill complex information into an easily digestible format. And my passion is that business model. So I'm able to do that for people. You are the ecosystem building queen. You can help anybody build a team and a supporting and collaborative partnership around their business. Jeremy, numbers, hands down, numbers and staffing. He's our HR and numbers guy. And those are our facilitators. But we also have, George in marketing, and Shirley on the marketing committee. We have that help us with those marketing pieces, and we can refer people to them for advice. April from Faven, very very good at event production and also connecting with the community, prospecting the community, because that's what she does in her business. Maxine on our one of our spokesmen. I mean, you can't get better than that. So we have found, identified what everyone's specialty is, what they're all the best at, and then we put that all together in a way that helps other people. And it's like, truly, Action Zone is demonstrates that the sum of the parts far exceeds the individual contributions. It just
Yeah.
it's part of why I love being part of this team, is because, if you guys could be a fly on the wall when we're brainstorming something, we need more whiteboard space than we would ever have.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think also to your point, knowing your people and their skill sets, and how many people you and I have considered asking to come on as executive director. And Kashima was the only one that we talked about, and there was no hesitation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I didn't mean to neglect Kashima at
No,
all.
no, I know you didn't. It was just, again, it was just to your point, of knowing your people, knowing your
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. And Kashima's experience and expertise filled a gap that we had in the company so perfectly that it allowed the rest of us to go back and focus on, take one of those hats off and focus
Yeah.
on what we're most expert at.
Except now, since you called me the queen of ecosystem building, I need a crown. I'll, rep- I'll
My
replace.
friend, I have one for you. It's right on my bookcase. It's sitting on my owl's head. So yes, we'll make sure you have a
I'll go
crown.
with a tiara.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have the tier. I'll get you a crown, and I won't even go to Burger King to get it. Oh, Burger King's not even a company anymore, is it?
It's not?
Oh no, Burger King. I'm thinking Burger Chef is the one that went out of business.
Oh.
Burger King. I'll go get
I
you
was
a
like, there's
crown
one
at
up the
Burger King.
street. I didn't know they closed
And
down.
and I remembered the name of the organization from my youth. It was called Junior Achievement. And
Oh, yes, yes,
I
yes.
don't know if that's still around or not, but
I think it is. Let's Google it real quick, and then on that note, we'll say goodbye. Junior
okay.
achievement. Yeah, I think so. Nonprofit inspires and prepares young people for success.
Oh, I wonder if it's different than what it was when I was a kid. And I wonder if they have a special segment for kids of veterans. We should look into that.
Maybe. Yeah, so it looks like it's still around.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll have to, when I have time, which might be in the middle of next week sometime, I will look at it. I will go down that rabbit hole.
I love
So we
it.
will put the link to our registration in the chat. We'll put the link to the social media workshop in the chat. We'll put the link to the Proforma workshop with Jeremy in the chat. Was there something else I don't have on my list?
No. Oh, good morning, Daryl. Daryl's So good morning. No, I think that's all. Daryl. Oh, his next, actually two more announcements. His next Entrepreneur Speaks is February. What month is this?
Don't rush it.
July 16th.
Oh,
July
wow.
16th.
Okay.
Yeah. His next one, and the speakers have already been selected. I'm pretty excited to hear these rock star entrepreneurs. July 16th. And then Maxine with her foundation, Courage and Grace, she has a women's brunch on 9 July.
Awesome. We'll have to
Yeah,
put those in the links as well.
yeah,
But
women
that
veterans
Entrepreneur
brunch.
Speaks is a great event. I hope more people will find it because what a great opportunity to hear the stories that bind us together. Um,
Yeah.
things that we can either learn from or share joy and misery with as the entrepreneurial gods bestow them upon us.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Lady in Purple. I guess I'll see you at 10 o'clock for our next meeting.
Yeah, I didn't look at I knew I had that one. I don't know what's happening the rest of the day. But yeah, you have a great day, and I will see you later. And we'll see you all. Don't be strangers. If you need something, just drop us a note, and when we come up there, we'll talk to you.
All right, bye, Action
Bye,
Zone.
everybody.
Bye.